Question: how do you know when it's time to retire? Well, the correct answer to that is, like I said, and been saying for 20 years, you need there's your income, there's your spending, and there's your passive income. And passive income is when I buy a stock. Think about this: if I bought a farm, I don't need to know the price of the farm every year, and it's not the only way I can make money off this farm is to sell it for more than I bought it for. That wouldn't even. Can you imagine buying a farm and someone said to you, "Well, how are you going to make money on this farm?" Well, hopefully someday I can sell the farm for more than I bought it for. I mean, people would think there's something wrong with you. You'd say, well, I have this farm and every year I sell a crop of corn or soybean or wheat or cattle. If I bought a house, well, how are you going to make money with the house? Well, the only way I'm going to make money on this house is someday I'd like to sell it to someone for twice of what I paid for it. You think, are you not right in the head? No, you would rent it out. Maybe you would go to that house and say, you know what, I'm going to invest $10,000 more in that house and split this house into a duplex. And the mortgage is $1 and the rent was $1, but now I'm going to turn it into a duplex and try to get $2 out of it. Bitcoin, how retarded? Well, if you bought all the gold ever found is actually still in existence because it's that rare and valuable, and it would fill about 2 Olympic-sized swimming pools. So if I bought all the gold in the world and put it in your backyard, we come back a year later and still just have all the gold in the world. It's non-productive. It didn't do anything. It only has value if you find someone who will pay more for than what you bought for it. Same as Bitcoin. When people think Bitcoin, and they say the dumbest things, they say things, well, I don't like the Federal Reserve. Oh yeah, the Federal Reserve with 3,200 PhD economists. They have open meetings. They have Fed notes. They testify in front of Congress. Oh, but yours is, yeah, the equalizer, the great deal is Bitcoin. Yeah, we don't know who started it. We know that like 9 people have like 85% of all the shares, and that's more safety for my homies than the U.S. Federal Reserve with 3,000 employees that are publicly. I mean, people are insane. The things they say. But I'm telling you that what you need to do is you need to buy productive assets. And a productive asset is a dividend stock. And a dividend stock, again, my dividend stocks, I'll just read mine to you. And they're most all these are already in Berkshire, but it's Apple, Alphabet, Bank of America, American Express, Amazon, Coke, Kraft, Kroger, Costco, Walmart, Home Depot, Verizon, Microsoft, Cisco, Line Technology, Henry Schein, Daily Journal, TSMC, that's chips, BioNTech, Tesla, but I'm telling you, and I do like that Floor and Decor holding still, but that was found that in Berkshire Hathaway's, but all of Warren's stocks pay a dividend. So if you buy Coca-Cola, well, you just got to have something. I look at my grandchild. I'm 59. I look at my youngest grandchild, Lillian, who's 3 months, and little Audrey is due next month. So we'll say Audrey. She's still negative 1 month in the womb. She's been in there 8. She comes out in June. Will Coca-Cola be there when Audrey's my age? Of course. Will Costco be there? Will Walmart be there? When you buy these stocks, you never have to check the price, and you already voted for that company because you're already taking your grandchildren. I mean, I'm thinking my kid, they all have Apple, that $1,000 laptop thing when they get old enough for that. They're all on Google and YouTube. Bank of America, they don't have an American Express, but they order shit on Amazon. They get stuff from Coca-Cola. Kraft Heinz, I mean, like Kraft macaroni and cheese and ketchup. Kroger, that's your Costco's. I mean, the Kroger is Fry's in Arizona. It's Dillon's in Kansas. Costco. But see, I'm already taking them to Costco and Walmart. And I'm already buying stuff. So see, you're already voting with your own money. I had a dentist the other day say, oh, Howard, I bought SFE. I bought it at 29. It's at 62. Do you think I should sell it or keep it? I said, what do they do? Dude, I don't even know. Where are they headquartered? I don't even know. Oh, okay. Or did you have a head injury? Did you just drop acid before you asked this question? I mean, where does this insanity come from? It's like people that sell index funds. Really? You recommend they get an index fund of 500 stocks? You couldn't find one turd in that list to take out? I'll throw out an idea. How about all the companies in the Russell 2000 that have never made 1 penny profit. Oh, I don't know. That's just 40% of the Russell 2000. You couldn't just remove that 40%? How about all the SPACs? How about all the companies you hate? How about all, what, you want to buy Kmart and Sears? You want to double down on JC Penney? You know what's going up. You already trade, and you shouldn't own more than 5 stocks. Almost every billionaire only owns one. That's the company he started. Bill Gates has got almost all his money in Microsoft. They all have it in their starting company, just like most of your equities in your dental office. And my gosh, and Warren likes the stock. I'm already bought an iPhone, and Apple pays. Yeah, it's a 4% dividend, but when you teach kids math, I like to only use ones and zeros because 1 is the unit and 0 is just a placement. It's just a scale. And so when I teach finance to my kids, even at their ages of 33, 31, 29, and 27, something like that, I still always say 5 cents because a nickel, 20 nickels is $1. And in my lifetime, the cost of capital is usually 5%. Now, we lived in this time where some genius named whatever the hell decided that he was going to bring interest rates down to 0. And oh my God, we've been in this mess my whole life where they just they destroyed the savings account. So that means if you're going to make money, you got to throw it in the stock market or Bitcoin or gamble it, because back in the day, every time you put in $1, you get a nickel a life the rest of your life. But Alan Greenspan decided quantitative easing and free money, and I mean, it's just been a shit show for 40 years as you've gone from no deficit when I walked out of high school to Ronald Reagan adding $1 trillion a year, because if you cut taxes and increase spending, oh yeah, I mean, what if your wife said, you know, honey, why don't you quit your job and we'll double our spending? Or just work part-time and then we'll have more time to spend. You would say, well, that ain't going to work. Well, our credit cards will default. And right now you're seeing your credit cards under serious stress. You're seeing inflation and all this crap like that. But the bottom line is just, my God, just reduce your spending. Build your passive income. And then when you're sitting around with your wife and you're stressing, this Christmas, we really need a good trip. Let's go spend $10,000 in Hawaii. That's the whole disease. If you spent that $10,000 to go to Hawaii and bought 10,000 more shares of a dividend stock like Apple, Alphabet, Coke, Kraft, Kroger, Costco, Walmart, Home Depot, Verizon, and then at the end of the year you're saying, well, honey, we earned 20 nickels. I worked my ass off doing root canals, fillings, crowns. We made 20 nickels. And the first 5 years we were married, at the end of the year, we'd spend more than we had. We built up credit card debt and mortgages, but we got our credit cards paid off, and we got our car paid off. And as soon as we get our house payment, we're doing double payments, and then that's paid off. Yeah, I'm earning 20 nickels, but I think in 5 years, I'm earning 20 nickels. We could be living off 10. And right now, we're investing a lot of money in these stocks, and I think in those 5 years, we'll be getting 10 nickels a year just from Apple. My God, then you can retire. And then when you can retire, you don't want to retire, because when you have to work, you have to do the Muller-Endo. I'm sorry. When you got $400,000 student loan, someone comes into a toothache, there's only 2 options. It's a root canal, build-up, and crown. And you can do that whole thing in one appointment if you got a CAD cam in 2.5 hours, $2,500, or extract the tooth and place an implant. And if you can't do either of those 2 things, or switch to the cosmetic side, which ain't bleaching, bonding, veneers, that's all bullshit. It's ortho. Shit, there's 10,000 orthodontics. If you cut the orthodontic specialty in half, each half would be bigger than oral surgeons and periodontists and endodontists, which is 2, 3, and 4. It's kind of like Alaska. Remind all the Texans that are telling you how big Texas is, that if you cut Alaska in half, each half would be bigger than Texas. And from El Paso to Houston is a 12-hour drive. In fact, if you had a yardstick from El Paso to Houston and you flipped it over towards San Diego, the yardstick would go past San Diego 100 miles out into the ocean. It's a big-ass state. But my gosh, you need to live below your means. You need to spend less than you earn. You need dividend stocks. When I buy a company that I know Apple's going to be here when my Audrey, who's negative 1 month old, when she's 59, Apple's going to be here. So's YouTube. So's Kroger. So's Costco. I don't need to check that stock, and it's a productive asset. Every year, it's giving me a nickel for every dollar, right? It's giving me my 5%. I know it's 4, and I know in this crash, though, some will cut their dividends, reduce them, but I'm telling you, on the whole, especially when you go back to when I was a child, there was always a nickel at your Johnny Appleseed account. So spend less, save more, and you'll be happy and know when it's time to retire. Thank you very much.